Okay, good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Smudcast number 849. Animation critic REKS, REKS capital. FreedomToons, question mark, exclamation, question mark, exclamations, question mark. I'm not sure what to expect because I don't know much about these two gentlemen. I think we might have covered Saberspark once and we got tired of him. My memory
that would sound about right.
My memory isn't, I can't recall when we covered him. But
we tire of too many of these people.
I know there's not too many of these YouTube channels that have specifically animation or classical animation, and they just do whatever they want because that takes a lot of effort and time. And maybe this is a fad. Maybe it's a bunch of guys getting out of school from animation, can't find jobs. They start their own YouTube channel. I don't know, but this sounds like an animator or someone who has an animation themed YouTube channel criticizing FreedomToons, right? That's it, about it, I think. So I don't know what to expect, but I don't know anything. Have we ever touched FreedomToons? I don't think so. I don't remember him at all.
Not really. There's no reason to, because he usually makes sense. Usually.
He doesn't really do video essays. He just makes silly little cartoons just trying to make light of political situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
To be fair, this is a FreedomToons video, though, isn't it?
Yes.
It's his response. It's his personal response to Saber's
He occasionally does these, but it's not often.
So it must be
his meme reviews are funny.
And so we will respond to FreedomToons responding to Saberspark?
Basically.
All right. Well, anyway, it's a 12-minute video. It should not take too long because, again, this is probably animated and it's very short and sweet, and maybe there's some good commentary. I don't know. Let's get going.
And I think
here I am working. It's a Tuesday morning. I'm trying to get my cartoon about how January 6th wasn't a big deal out for the internet to see. And then I find that Saberspark has called me right-wing? The shameless world of anti-woke cartoons? What? Before I watch this video.
I'm sorry, what are anti-woke cartoons? Does anyone know what anti-woke cartoons is as a genre?
It's a video he did.
Yeah, go on.
It's a video Saberspark did. I'm not going to watch it because it's Saberspark.
All right. But does anyone know what the genre means?
That doesn't answer the question. Anti-woke simply means anything disagreeing with the left, whether reasonable or unreasonable, rational or irrational. Just not agreeing with the left makes you anti-woke.
Okay. So
you're a wrong thinker.
And it happens
for the most part, FreedomToons does parody a lot of woke,
okay,
stuff that comes out, like the whole DEI stuff.
Right. Yeah. So it's basically an animator who has his own sense of politics. And he likes making fun of stuff. That sounds pretty normal to me.
I mean, he will also make fun of Trump and Shapiro and all these other figures when they do dumb stuff. And
not that long ago, he made a video making fun of Elon Musk.
Yeah, we're going to say he recently made a video of Elon Musk basically slave trading.
Basically using cheap migrant labor.
Quote-unquote robots.
Yeah.
It's not incorrect.
All right, fair enough.
No, they weren't real robots. They were actually Mexicans in a costume.
Yeah. I know.
Just that since mainly the left has been in power for the longest time, they got the brunt of it, and now there's finally some fodder again in the other direction.
All right. Anyway, American politics is fun. Let's keep going.
I want to prepare myself by just looking for my name in the comment section to see how badly I get roasted. Dude, FreedomToons is hilarious. Aw, man, I think FreedomToons is funny based. You are it is. Oh my gosh. You really don't understand the genius? The genius of FreedomToons? The genius of you heard that is from your audience.
Yeah, Saberspark's own audience was just not having it.
Can anyone check out the like-dislike ratio on the original video? That'd be hilarious.
I don't have the expansion to do that.
All right.
But
Neither do I.
Well, I don't want to switch tabs, so anyway, I'll just keep going.
I'm picking FreedomToons over you? That's one of your fans, dude! Grow up, Saber.
Yeah, he really should.
My right-hand man, Caleb Black, in our employee Discord, where we all hang out, he said, did a quick tally, and the first 7 pages of comments, literally 40% of them are defending us. Not 40% of the comments talking about us. Not 40% of the positive comments. In a 45-minute video that covers us for about 4 minutes, 40% of all the comments are defending us.
Oh, so he's just one of many in that video.
Yeah, it's like I said. I don't know if I want to watch that video or not. It's 45 minutes of listening to like a 37-year-old man bitch about cartoons not aligning with his politics.
And these are amateur cartoons.
Well, assumingly they're all amateurs, but for some reason, if it isn't amateur cartoonists, he chose to lump an amateur cartoonist in with them for some reason.
Okay, so it's just cartoons in general.
I'm not sure. I actually have to watch the video.
All right.
God.
That's so crazy.
That's horrible.
We are so back. Do you hear that? They love me.
Saberspark Studio.
Okay, so let's see what Saberspark had to say about me.
I stumbled across these videos in 2024 with this particular cartoon about Kamala. At first, I thought, oh, these guys are dunking on both parties. I can dig it. But then I started to watch some of the other videos on their
Why
channel.
would you believe that as the first thing?
Of the other videos on their channel, and yeah, it's not as impartial as I once thought.
Do you base your...
Yeah, but who cares if
Okay,
it's
just
impartial
wanna-
or not? Is it funny?
I want to point something out here. That
This
video
is
he's using
the
as an
most recent
example
one
here.
with Elon Musk.
He's making fun of Elon Musk. Like, he actually will make fun of right-wingers. Also, I'd like to point out that Seamus's FreedomToons own Saberspark, like avatar, looks better. Like, there's more detail in the drawing.
But who cares what their political affiliation is? If it's a funny joke, it's a funny joke. Like, there's plenty of jokes about Trump that are funny. So who cares? Like, I see them every day. Like, the left have been losing their minds this past month, of course, because Trump is just doing what he said he was going to do.
I actually brought that
Just
up in...
uprooted the entire financing network of their propaganda shit of $500 million.
Awesome Reviews
Hey,
put it best, not that,
was
just
it?
earlier today. He said, because the Department of Stopping Puppy Stomping wasn't actually stopping it, we have decided to defund it. The left. See, they want to stomp on puppies. No, the departments that are supposed to be doing these jobs have just been laundering money for their own interests.
Or was it 500 billion?
I don't even know. The point
It's some
is...
silly numbers at this point.
Yeah, if you have...
On the one hand, I'm grateful that the BBC has been defunded. on the other hand, I'm not looking forward to a rise in TV license fees.
Oh, yes, that's what you still have there in UK land.
That's
They
about the most...
use anything to
it's
argue an
fucking
increase in
dystopian.
TV licensing fees. They do the same here.
Well, I find it ironic that they're dunking or attacking Elon Musk for doing his job that he was appointed to do, which he has every legal right to do. And I would not care if Elon is like my worst enemy. If he's telling me, hey, I found in your accounting that someone's stealing from you, I'd be like, what? And he'd laugh at me or do whatever. And I'd be like, holy shit, that's important. Like, I wouldn't care who he is.
The problem with the left is, so long as something sounds nice and sounds pretty, they will support it to the end. The Black Lives Matter movement is a prime example of that. There's nothing wrong with the statement Black Lives Matter, but the movement itself is nothing. Go around rioting and burning down cities. So to the left, if you don't support these people that are rioting and burning down cities, you hate black people, even though that's completely fucking ludicrous.
I know. It's just, this is, in this regard to the topic, it's just two guys who seem to have similar YouTube channels, and they're just making fun of stuff with animation. I think that's all they're doing. Maybe I'm wrong about Saberspark. I can't remember him too.
Saberspark makes cartoon reviews of varying quality.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Keyblade?
All
It
right.
just makes video essays.
Okay. 2 minutes in.
Your comment on impartiality? Dude, the very, very leftist, like explicitly leftist. I thought they were hilarious because the jokes are really good. School Shooter Had a History of School Shootings is one of the funniest gags and one of the funniest videos on YouTube. Patriotic Teen Fails Spanish. By the way, this video specifically is making fun of Elon Musk. You could have chosen a better clip for implying that I never make fun of the right.
Not as impartial as I once thought.
Also, this is a video where I make fun of RFK, who most people on the right like. This is so funny because I would acknowledge that we tend to make fun of the left, but he's shown at least 2 videos here so far where we're making fun of popular right-wing figures.
I wonder if this channel had fallen into the anti-woke trend, but then my question was fully answered when I saw a video called Anti-Woke Dog.
Are you serious?
Oh my God.
Doesn't he review New Norm at the South Park of YouTube? We're literally making fun of the new norm. Do you see the opening to this video? Every time a bad anti-woke show is released, people ask us to make a better one. This is our attempt. So we're saying, hey, this is us trying to make...
If anyone calls you the South Park of anything, that's an achievement. That's a gold medal.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The anti-woke dog, I posted the GIF here in our chat, and I posted the GIF in the meme channel.
Oh.
It is a dog dancing, and then a leftist comes up to bitch, and then the dog shuts him up by playing the music and just dancing, vibing, not caring.
And then eventually the leftist breaks his radio, and another anti-woke dog comes up and starts playing his song.
And they just
like
vibe.
the poor meme animals that got associated with certain messages, and now the left hates the very animal in the real world.
Yeah, because
honestly,
it's tribalistic bullshit. The us versus them mentality is what led to the rise of the Nazi Empire and the Soviet Union. The us versus them mentality is what leads to single-party dictatorships.
It is the actual fascism.
So honestly, I think Anti-Woke Dog is the best of the cartoons created solely to be anti-woke, and the one that gets mentioned, that Twitter one, it's not YouTube one, it's Twitter.
All right.
It's a bit shit.
The new norm, it's Daily Wire attempting to make cartoons, and they're just none of them are good.
Yeah, there's a certain
We mentioned
skill.
one briefly when we covered that woman.
They keep
who,
kicking out all the talent.
Yeah,
like we mentioned, we covered one of them briefly when covering that woman who said spite is ruining animation or something like that.
Really? Spite.
Well, I say recently was one covered on the Smudcast.
Okay, well,
I wouldn't agree in so far as that the left is run by spite.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
and we see what they make.
It's kind of funny because I don't expect a lot of quality out of amateur animation, and if it's funny, that's probably the best thing they can do because it's easy to or not easy, but it's quick to get to comedy as opposed to drama or any other kind of element. So to do it and to do it effectively takes talent. You know, there's some skill involved. So even if your political ideology is X or Y, there's plenty of cartoonists, political cartoonists, even in Canada, that make fun and have been making fun of all kinds of world leaders for decades, and they're still beloved, even if you disagree with what they're trying to say. So
Kind of makes me.
it's not a
Go
big deal.
ahead.
It's not a big deal, and it's for the laughs. It's to make here's our political leader, and he's he's pissing against the wind, and the piss is hitting him in the face. Because he's saying all these silly things.
Yeah, it's making. I'm next thinking of the Animaniacs, where in their theme song they have Bill Clinton plays the sax, or there's the episode where Gaddafi or Saddam Hussein or someone of that nature literally falls out from a trapdoor into hell.
Yeah, it's played.
And the episode revolves around the Warners annoying Satan.
Yeah, and it's part of the reality that the truth is funny, and you can depict it in a funny way. And it's all legal. It's all freedom of speech. There's nothing nefarious about it. And it's just someone's interpretation, spending the extra 3 days or 2 weeks, whatever it takes to draw these things, and make it fun and colorful. So this is great. This is why we have this wonderful protection specifically about parody, humor, even pornography, like all these things that people are like, oh, you can't do that. It's like, yes, you can, specifically because we've had court cases about this back in the day. and we've gotten through this. We've grown up. We've said, do whatever you want. Now,
Within reason.
well, yeah, but there are things that went through the cracks, like the try to remember that journalist, who drew was the Prophet Muhammad like 15 years ago, and he got
Probably.
I can't remember.
Just
Charlie
tweet.
Hebdo.
It was that scenario where the obviously the religious people took that very seriously, but they did not have the freedom of speech that us in the West are allowed. So yeah, like these little things have to keep being ironed out and say, no, you do not get to hamper this person. You do not get to squelch them. So maybe his criticism is about the techniques. Maybe it's about the comedy. Great. But all he said is it's not impartial. And I'm like, what's your point? I want my comedians to be as biased as they want. So long as they make me laugh, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when it comes to people like Saberspark, everything has to be aligned in their worldview, or else it's wrong and evil.
Right. Like,
How dare you make fun of Supreme Leader Kamala Harris? All hail,
yeah,
whatever.
Look at some of the left-leaning comedians that we know. Jon Stewart, Bill Maher. They've been around for decades, and even they are like making fun of the past administration and now the current administration. That's their job. So
A little bit. They've come around a little bit because it's even gotten a little bit too much for them, but they still hold on to a lot of the root bullshit.
oh yeah, I mean, I saw the interview with our potential new PM like a few weeks ago on the Jon Stewart show, and I'm like, what the hell is my potential new PM who's not unelected going to American news broadcasting shows to announce his run for the Liberal Party, which makes no sense. I don't know. That's just how he decided to come out.
Maybe he thinks that is the more free speech platform than any other.
Not in Canada, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the only alternative above that is Joe Rogan at this point.
And no one in Canada watched the CBC apparently, so yeah, who knows?
Hey, that's one thing you can say afuera about.
Well, yeah, who knows? I can't say. But this is all weird because the design of this sort of animation or the message from this animation is for the laughs. And if you want to, again, criticize the technique, you want to criticize the joke, go for it. But if it doesn't make you laugh, no one's going to lose sleep over it. So, not a big deal.
Something than anti-woke content creators usually make, and we just have a dancing dog.
Needless to say, the channel goes full force into pandering towards its right-leaning demographic.
Do you think it is possible that I myself am right-wing, and so when I make videos trying to satirize current events, I have a right-wing perspective? Have you thought of that?
Exactly.
Like, this is just, that's just kind of pathetic. Say, like, you're okay when he makes fun, you're okay when cartoonists with a left-wing perspective make fun of right-wingers. And you know what? That's fine. South Park does it all the time.
Yeah.
What's
Family Guy does it all the time.
E-words?
Yeah, but they got upset with South Park when it criticized left-wing issues.
Yeah, well, South Park can make fun of anything under the sun. They just don't give a flying fuck about what your feelings.
Wisp.
I'm going to tell a joke because I can.
Whisp, what's that E-word we're looking for? The thing that Saberspark seems to lack. Begins with E.
Effort? Equality?
No, the other one.
Infallibility? I don't know what you're talking about.
Empathy.
Oh. But it's more about authoritarianism of one side being right and the other being wrong.
Yeah.
The left thinks the other side is evil when in truth all the manipulation of the left is kind of that, and yes, those things exist on what the left thinks the right is as well, and what the right thinks the right is.
Well,
When these terms are rather relatively meaningless.
I'm
They're
curious
just two camps that are both shit.
if FreedomToons was supposedly left-leaning and making fun of Elon Musk and RFK, would he then watch those videos and go, haha, that's funny?
He would absolutely do that.
Yes, and the German comedy scene, we have especially a political comedy scene, has been rather going dry over the past decade because the left has gotten so authoritarian that you basically could not tell jokes anymore.
Yeah. It's
Jokes are a weapon. Words are a weapon, and they hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I'm just always reminded of my favorite movie, which is The Princess Bride, and the director of that is Rob Reiner. And if you don't know Rob Reiner, he's probably one of the most TDS influenced guys I've ever read about.
Oh no.
Yeah, Rob Reiner is really horrible the past, ever since 2016, of course. But
Very sad.
I don't care. He has a fantastic concept of comedy. He got all the right actors, he got all the right people, and he made a brilliant film. So back then he was great.
Inconceivable.
Exactly. This guy was so amazing back then, and he just made a great film, and I will always remember him for that, as opposed to him and a bunch of other people just cannot stand their current president, which is fair, but I'm not going to hate him for his other good deeds. Anyway,
If you keep using
He's
that word,
just taking
I don't
back
think
what
it
the
means
left
you
had
think it
rightfully
means.
stolen.
all right, we're almost 4 minutes in. Nothing has been said yet.
As the quality of the videos go, it is exactly what you would think writing-wise.
What does that mean?
Well, hold on now, Saberspark. A moment ago, you said when you first saw our videos, you could dig it because we went after both sides. What dip did you notice in the quality of our writing after that? You said you thought the content was something you could get behind when you were under the misapprehension that we spend equal amounts of time making fun of the left and right. But if we just flat out weren't funny, you would have gone, oh, what a shame. These people are trying to make fun of both sides and they're still not funny. But you didn't.
I feel like these videos are the kind of content that office coworkers are like, hey, bro, come here. Here, look at this video. Isn't that funny? Yeah, dude, it's pretty based, right? You gotta fake a smile and be like, oh, it's
my
funny.
God.
And then you have to run off to like the break room for coffee and be like, I'm so tired. I'm tired of.
What?
Oh, man.
That's just pathetic. That this is just projection to the highest
you
order.
poor bastard.
Yeah, because that's what happens when a radical lefty brainwashed douche starts talking politics at the comic shop or any other public place.
This is the weirdest reaction. That's not even a non sequitur. He's actually having his own personal story of, if this were to happen to me, I would feel awkward because I don't know how to react because other people are enjoying themselves.
Because it does get awkward because people then wonder, do I engage this one or not?
Exactly.
So-
Think of I don't know, you have a friend who likes The Last Jedi. He goes, yeah, I like the story, I like the characters, I like the action. You're like, oh, really? You like the story? Okay. We could talk about it later if you like, but not right now because, I'm in shock.
This guy's saying... So this guy's saying that when someone has a different view to him, and he has to hear or see someone who has a different view to it.
Yeah, he can't accept or
he
embrace
must-
conflict. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
in his
must
case,
go find somewhere private so he can scream and then cry.
Yeah.
He needs
yeah,
a safe
because
space.
he's in emotional distress
Nice.
because his worldview
Yeah.
is challenged.
Exactly.
While when it's the other way around, it's usually,
Yeah.
that's clearly a disturbed person who is prone to violence, or would break down in a tantrum and cry if I disagree because it's so emotionally feeble.
Yeah. It's
Do
like having
do I engage with that?
it's like having a series of family members or friends that are, I don't know, against what you believe in. And you're like, weird. I'm not going to start a fight. I'll just nod my head and go along with my life because there's no reason to get uppity about someone else's opinion, which isn't going to change or isn't going to help you or them if you argue with them. So it's like random people at work who see a funny cartoon and he goes like, I don't like it. It doesn't make me laugh. Just you walk away from the conversation. You just don't care. Who cares, dude? What is your problem? There's plenty of political cartoons and all kinds of silly depictions over the years, which either are funny for some people, and for me, I go, that's kind of not my thing. And you turn the page of the newspaper and you get on with your life. Or, swipe down on Twitter, whatever the cool kids are doing these days. Okay.
Everything.
Bro, you don't work in an office. You make reviews of children's cartoons on YouTube. What do you mean the break room? your parents' kitchen? And your dad shows you a FreedomToons video while you're in there? Your dad's like, look at this great video about Kamala Trump debating, and you went, I can't The whole thing's very funny to me. But he took his old coworker tirade from a tweet, by the way. It was a tweet trashing us. And I remember it because I'm very sensitive. I'm a very sensitive young man, and I remember when people make fun of me. And this tweet literally said that. He's done it. This isn't even his own original thought.
Same joke!
But most importantly, if you're liberal, I promise the people around you know you're liberal. And if they're showing you right-wing content that makes you want to leave the break room, it's because they didn't want you in the break room. They want to get all the liberals out. They're trying to make the break room great again.
That's exactly
Walk
what
in there
it
with your
is.
bangs and start asking people what their star sign was, and have your coworkers go, fellow patriot. A fellow patriot. You got deported from the break room is what happened. That's why they showed you the video.
Maybe I'm just a snob and prefer more subtlety and charm with my political satire.
Subtlety and charm from a leftist. No.
Have you guys ever seen a leftist meme lately?
It's just a wall of text.
It's hard to find the
There's no
subtlety and
artistic
charm.
text. It's just babble.
It is either incorrect, not very funny, or it doesn't make any sense. I've tried to find a good one. I can't.
It's also it's usually all of the above.
Like I saw one was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it must have been 2 weeks ago about the joke of how Mexico was going to send 10,000 troops to the border anyway, and so was Canada. It's like, that's not even factually correct, because the joke is that they announced it in December, and now they're doing it now. It's like, they talked about it in December. They didn't do anything about it. They didn't say anything about it. And it took Trump, the tariff threat, to actually sit down and go, oh shit, we got to spend money on this shit. Okay, let's do it. So this was like basic Google search. You'll see that the facts are wrong. There's nothing funny about it, and it's not even a joke. Like, they're not playing. Guess who got played? It was Trump. Like, yeah, you think Trudeau played Trump on anything, or Biden on it? Like, there's no way. Canada's lucky to have America for all the trade we do with them. If we didn't have America, we'd be more than half broke. Let's just say
You'd be closer to Mexico.
we'd be
You'd be close to
half,
England.
less than half of California. That our GDP is roughly the same as California. Our entire country. So yeah,
You're so far away from Mexico with the entire United States in between, and yet you have the cartels operating out of you.
we do have some drug labs in Canada. That's true, but we're talking like a fraction of what the stuff
It is
that
a fraction.
it's still a
but
fraction.
It is there.
It
It is there. It's just it's just making the distribution routes to Detroit and Portland shorter.
Anyway,
Listen, circumstances, I might say that's fair because I'm not charming or subtle. I'm a brute. But when you couldn't pick up on really obvious sarcasm, if you can't tell that anti-woke dog, while making fun of wokeness, is also self-satire that makes fun of anti-wokeness, if that flew over your head, when the video literally starts with the disclaimer saying that anti-woke content is usually bad, I'm not so sure that you do like subtlety.
FreedomToons is like the complete opposite of what I like.
Fair.
what?
And it's a shame
How?
too, because like
Why? Exact? How is
Because it's right wing and he doesn't like that.
that's it? They're both
Basically.
They're both
Like
animated.
somebody not agreeing with him.
This is
The entire
Because remember, at the start of
mindset.
this video, he said that it's making fun of both sides. I can dig it, but it mostly makes fun of the left. He doesn't dig it anymore.
this-
He's he's an overly sensitive, insecure man-child.
Yeah, if he says that, okay, a channel or whatever, a person has like 60% this politics and 40% that, and then he says this is the exact opposite of what, it's like, what exactly is the unopposite, like the actual thing that you like? And now how is this like, what would be the opposite of FreedomToons to you? Like, what would that be? I want to know, because I'm confused now, because we know it's not 100%, because FreedomToons makes fun of everyone, right? So it's mostly of the left, because obviously he's right wing or right leaning. So what exactly is this guy talking about? Anyone who makes these absolute statements drive me crazy. They're just saying words. They don't know what they mean. So it's all hyperbole. This is all silly crap. But, we're more than halfway done.
These designs are kind of fun.
Also very fair. Great design.
They're not scraping the bottom of the barrel, but the jokes, the writing, the overall sense.
Notice that he didn't show the white guy for Harris throwing a plate because he knew his audience would be in stitches and not just from their mastectomy scars.
Notice that his own leftist audience thinks that FreedomToons is funny. Saberspark's very own audience likes FreedomToons.
Oh, that's great.
That was a really good one.
I like that one.
White guy for Harris.
It's just a whiny bitch.
All
So
right.
it's, Saberspark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. I mean, they went after trains.
I don't know, man. Of all the things that we've made fun of, I didn't expect making fun of trains to be like the thing that upset anybody, to be honest. That was...
Is that because of...
The trains are racist.
Is it Amtrak? Like, what is he talking about? The subway?
You go onto the subway, you're likely to be attacked by a homeless crackhead.
Oh. And he's offended by that?
Yeah.
Why is he offended by that?
Because he has to be offended by it. It's right wing, therefore he has to be offended and upset over it because it's bad, because it's right wing.
Because
The leftist mindset is that you are to deny the problem. So we don't talk about the subway stations. That means we can't talk about the trains, so that we don't talk about the hobos pushing people onto the tracks when a train is coming. We also don't talk about people burning on the train that aren't being helped by the New York police or such.
And unless a Republican is in office, when a right wing person is in office, suddenly all the problems that never existed are suddenly their fault.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. I'm still confused on the trains bit, but okay.
Fredmod, you wanted to say something about that?
I'm gonna say it's like that interview that had that Emily Vigland, who said something along the lines of people fearing for their lives is some sort of bougie, concern.
Oh my god!
She was trying to say that you have to be affluent and extremely privileged to ever fear for your life while on the subway.
I take it. I'm going to say, if you're taking the subway, you probably don't have a whole lot of money, because you would be, if you did, you had the money to buy a car. Why would you be taking the subway?
Kind of mean towards people with claustrophobia.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. 7 minutes.
Trains. Listen to me. If my severely autistic audience can cope with me making fun of trains, I promise that you can.
And unironically use the word chud in their video title.
Wait, do you know what unironic means? Unironic means you're not using the word with any sarcasm or irony. Do you think we're actually calling our audience chuds? Are we pandering to the right wing, or do we unironically think that they're chuds and call them that? How does somebody who reviews media for a living not have the media literacy to spot sarcasm and satire? The video is called Public...
Because that's not the actual definition of media literacy. That's just what you naively believe media literacy means by just looking at the word and assuming what could it mean, and in a sane world you would be correct. But that's not what media literacy means. Media literacy is just another word for political correctness.
You don't understand. This media means this, even though there's nothing that leans to it. If you don't get it, you're media illiterate or something of that nature.
You don't understand the beauty of stones.
Anyway.
Nobody gets that one.
Transit amazing, you chud. Saberspark, was the video about public transit being amazing? Or was it the opposite of that?
We're with it. We know the modern cultural zeitgeist and vernacular. Bro. Based.
Well, Wait a minute. We're with it. We know the modern vernacular. These are just words I use. I'm curious about this. How old is Saberspark? Dude is 7 years older than me, trying to act like I'm using my vernacular to appeal to the youths. Bro, I am the youths. I'm in my 20s making cartoons about politics. You're in your late 30s making videos reviewing children's cartoons.
Wait, what birthday was that? It was in 1988, but
I don't know.
Don't worry. Not a big deal. He's older. That's all it is.
Yeah.
What? Trying to appear young. Which, you know, if you're good at it, go do it. Get your bag, fine. But glass houses, my friend. Glass houses.
Been here at the subway station for about 15 minutes, and I've yet to witness a murder.
Yeah, what can I say? You know, do I need to say the quiet part out loud? They know exactly what they're doing.
Wait, what are we doing?
That is...
They know exactly what they're implying.
What am I implying? What am I implying? Are you trying to make a thinly veiled accusation? In this video, there's a running gag that people keep sending interns into the subway, and they keep getting pushed in front of the train by like psychotic homeless people. The second guy gets pushed in front of the train by a white guy. So you left that pretty important detail out, seemingly to make it appear that we were making some kind of racist statement and have a racist audience. So let me just be very clear about this. It's okay if FreedomToons isn't your cup of tea. That's just something you and your audience don't seem to see eye to eye on, and that's okay. You know, obviously you should probably do some soul searching on how you ended up with an audience full of so many evil, horrible racists who are defending my content to you. Really look inside. Figure out what kind of racist microaggressions and dog whistles you've been putting out there in your Bluey reviews. But genuinely, putting the jokes aside for a second, what's not okay is deceptively editing my cartoons, removing certain moments from the context of the overall video, and crafting a deceptive narrative about what it is that myself and my team do for a living here, and what it is our audience enjoys watching. When I first opened this video, it gave me hope, because almost all of the comments are defending me and saying that they enjoy FreedomToons. But now I'm down in the dumps. And the reason why is, you know, in this video, he clearly takes my content out of context to craft a deceptive narrative about it, which says to me, not only can I not trust the mainstream media anymore, I can't trust mainstream children's animation video essayists. So where am I supposed to get my news now? How am I supposed to know about the world? How am I going to know if the Powerpuff Girls reboot is good or not now? There's literally no way for me to know that. Where am I supposed to go for My Little Pony reviews that slip the kinds of racist dog whistles in them that make FreedomToons fans love Saberspark's channel so much? How am I going to know if new episodes of SpongeBob are worse than the old episodes? It's a barren media landscape, I'll tell you that much. A bleak day for humankind. Nostalgia Critic would never. And if you just apologized for trying to smear me, I think we could be friends. We seem to have a huge overlap in our fan bases. We must have something in common. Saberspark FreedomToons collab when? People have been asking me that for I don't know how long. I still think we should do a collab. Anti-woke Saberspark. I think that's right there. You can talk about why the Powerpuff Girls reboot was too woke. They race-swapped Bubbles. We didn't like that.
I love the MAGA
is a
Saberspark.
solo polyamorous
What?
hijabi with a missing leg. And I think they were disappointed to see that that's what they didn't get from your channel when you uploaded this. If you just apologized for trying to smear me, and you just went to freedomtoons.com/members and got a FreedomToons Super Soldier membership, and then went to hollow.com/freedomtoons and got a 3-month trial, and then went over to FreedomToons, and then watched my video about how January 6th isn't a big deal, and you're silly for being upset about it, I think you'd see I'm a reasonable guy. I think you'd see I'm a reasonable.
That is the best self plug anyone's ever done.
Yeah, that's because he always promotes his website and his sponsors. But the way he did the sponsorship there, the way he did his channel, that's just great.
Masterfully done.
Wonderful. Anyway, that was fun. That was cute, and I think he got his message across. Obviously, no one heard it on the other side, but that's expected.
I mean.
Yeah.
The fans who defended him, who defended Seamus, probably did, but Saberspark's got his head buried in the sand. So,
yeah, it's a weird thing to just say the things you don't like and not give a good excuse and just say, well, they're not as impartial as I want them to be. It's like, what is your level of impartiality need to like? What's the ranking? Like, how do you measure that? Are you like David Chappelle, or do you need like a Bill Burr? Like, how do you measure your comedy on those levels? I don't get it. If something's funny, it makes you laugh, have a great time, that's the point. It doesn't matter who your laughing at. It's supposed to. That's the design, and if it's effective, good for you. We need parody. We need jokes. We need dancing dogs.
Yeah.
You know?
If you can't laugh about yourself or your own politics, your own mishaps, then you can't improve on them because you refuse to acknowledge your own mistakes.
Yeah, and people
at that point, it's not a political alignment; it's a cult.
Well, that's a good point because people get too involved in whatever they believe in. Let's say we have an argument about taxes or whatever. There's all kinds of arguments you could have in politics, and you never stop. You keep hammering and hammering away. And you're like, what the hell have I been doing for the past hour online? I don't need to do this. I got my message across. This person's not going to change their mind. Take a break. This is no longer an argument. This is just harping at people online that have no context and no desire to learn. And that's fine. Walk away.
Yeah. And that was the great explicit message in The Name of the Rose, a movie everybody should watch at least once in his life. With our favorite not Scottish Scotsman, Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Where you have the old monk who's hiding a book on comedy in the secret library that has poisoned pages, so everybody who reads it dies. Spoilers. For this now 40-year-old movie.
What a beautiful ending too. Just this, like, oh, is he gonna stay or is he gonna go? Oh, he's gonna go.
Yeah.
Gonna follow his message.
What was his line? If we laugh about jokes, we may laugh about God, and that's why the old monk is trying to hide the book on comedy, and that is what the left is doing. Whether it's an extremist Christian or an extremist socialist, doesn't matter. Yeah. If you try to hide comedy, if you forbid it, then you cannot improve because you fear that your God is going to be laughed at, and your ego can't stand that.
Well, there's not much else to say.
Can't take a joke that is not God worth.
This has been a fun video. We have not much else to say. I think it's the right message on just the right amount of time, just above 10 minutes. And fun stuff. All right.
2 minutes.
Yeah, we're good. We're good to go. Anyone else? Anything else to say? I think we're good to go. All right.
No, I think I'm done.
We got the point across.
All righty. Well, thanks, guys, for all your time. That was only 42 minutes. Wow. We will talk to you soon. Have yourself a great afternoon or a great evening, wherever you are in the world. And we'll talk to you later. Good night.
Night.